In this week's episode of My Hero Academia, the young students of Class 1A have to deal with their greatest battle yet. Who is going to be the class representative? And suddenly, out of nowhere, the villains have arrived. I felt like I was watching two completely different episodes of My Hero Academia this week, with the first half being a very goofy romp, getting to see every single character in Class 1A try to vote themselves to be the leader of their class. The class representative, the class president, whatever you want to call it. And what's most interesting is that pretty much everybody votes for themselves. That is, of course, except for Ida and Ochako. That is right, they've decided to vote for Izuku, which is a pretty nice twist considering the fact that he absolutely does not want to be the class representative. And frankly, I'm kind of glad that they did this nice little twist at the end of the episode because I didn't want to see him be the class rep either. He's already the main character of the series with one of the most powerful abilities. They don't need to do that to him right now. What they really need is a true leader, and they're going to get that from Ida Tenya, who definitely proves his heroic worths in this episode with his ability to calm people down and let them know what the rules are all about. Ida Tenya is the poster boy for establishment, but he also happens to be one of the funniest characters I've seen in an anime series, and is growing into one of my favorite characters from the series, period. We also get to learn a little bit more about his family. His older brother is this other cool, super-powered character with a costume very similar to him that Tenya definitely looks up to quite a bit. He's basically his All Might. The second half of the episode is when things pick up, but they still like to take their time with building up these big events which are getting ready to go down. First and foremost, All Might just cannot stay in his transformative state for too long, especially when on the way to school he constantly has to stop and save the day. He exerts all of his power and has to take a lot of breaks, which is not going to be good because everyone's going to end up figuring out the secret behind his powers, and he cannot have that. Otherwise, we have the other students who are getting ready to go into this other exercise. This week, we're going into rescue training. And they arrive at this big location, which is set up with all of these big playing fields that they'll be able to go in and do these big simulations of having to rescue people. They're also introduced to this other hero who goes by the name of 13, who basically looks like a big poofy spaceman. I don't know if it's a spaceman or a spacewoman. It's kind of hard to tell because the figure is completely ambiguous, but everybody seems to love 13 a lot, especially Izuku. But then again, we have to remember that he is a superhero fanboy. However, before the training can get underway, suddenly these weird black portals of doom start to open up, and all of these villains and monsters start to emerge from it, including the one we saw in the post-credit scene from last week's episode, this weird gray-haired guy who has all of these disembodied hands all over his body. I said it in last week's episode, I'll say it again, this design is so damn unique and really awesome, and I cannot wait to see what this guy is capable of, especially because he brought along one of his big goons, which is this big black lizard bird thing with an exposed brain. I don't know what it is. It appears in the intro of the show and All Might's fighting him, so probably that's what's going to happen next. It's very obvious that Mr. Aizawa freaking Eraserhead is going to be getting in the battle. He puts his goggles on, and it is go time. He realizes that some of these guys are going to be pretty bad, so I can't wait to see what other students are going to get involved in this battle and what this is going to result in. The preview is going to give some things away, but this is definitely a great way to build up the finale of this arc, which apparently this season is only going to be 13 episodes, so they only have a couple of episodes to sort of wrap all this up, but boo boy, am I freaking excited. If anything, this was a real springboard episode of My Hero Academia, getting you excited for the next one in the finale of the season. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of My Hero Academia? Really, I wish I had more to say about this one right here. What I will say is I'm starting to grow accustomed to all of these side characters in the series. They're all so ridiculous. Freaking Tsuyu, the frog girl. She is freaking hilarious. I cannot wait to see more of her character. I love the fact that she constantly and openly speaks her mind. And what might be one of the greatest things about this episode is that realization when you realize that Katsuki Bakugo is being bullied way more than Izuku is. Everybody actually really loves Izuku. They think he's really inspirational, but everybody is just constantly picking on Katsuki here, and even Izuku himself cannot believe this. And when you're right there with him, you're kind of like, yeah, that is a little strange how the tables have completely turned, but it's also sort of put all of the characters on an equal playing field, which is something that I really like. Now, despite the fact that I didn't like the first half of the episode that much, it still was a really nice, appropriate episode which was building again on the side characters of the series, which are becoming more interesting in many ways than the main characters themselves. Ida Tenya is definitely one of my favorites. He's incredibly neurotic, but he also has a good heart. And that makes him a really fun character as well. And I like the fact that both him and Uraraka and Izuku, like, they've all formed this, like, three-way friendship, which I think is really great, like, their own special little group. They've definitely turned into what I consider to be the main characters from My Hero Academia. The introduction of some villains at the end of the episode is also going to do a great job in building up the finale here. I think it's going to be really exciting, getting to learn about all these villains, where they came from, and what sort of beef they actually have with UA High School. Clearly, it looks like they're also going to be going after All Might as well, but man, I can't wait to see these guys in action. We have needed some villains. If you have a superhero show, you've got to have some super villains, and these guys have some great designs, and I can't wait to see them in action. So this was another fun episode, which definitely had some slow pacing going for it, but it was an excellent build-up for the next episode, which just looks so damn awesome, so I can't wait for that one. I'm going to give this week's episode right here a 4 out of 5. A great expansion on all of these amazing and colorful characters, and a great cliffhanger ending. Check this one out, My Hero Academia fans. You're definitely going to see something you like. But if you did watch this week's episode, why don't you tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching this review. I really appreciate it. Can't thank you enough. If you would like to help support the channel, perhaps you should subscribe. That way you'll be able to see all of our latest anime and manga reviews, our weekly podcast show. You can also like this video. Make sure to share it with all of your buds as well. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby.